This is the 19th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, Aftco, Pro Guide Batteries, X-Zone Lures, Shoreline Boat and RV Repair, Spro, Gamakatsu, Big Bite Baits, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing, and I brought the man out of retirement.
I'm helping you out today, man.
I know. So, we have the new streaming stuff, then we have the streaming stuff that we streamed when you were streaming.
That I still stream with.
That you still stream with.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like throwing an OG Wigglewort. But
it is, with a lot of success.
We should be good to go.
Now, dude, hey, hang on a minute. I got to give you props because this morning it was not the old Matt, the old panic Matt, where a wire goes this way and you just go into DEFCON 5 all of a sudden. You remain calm. We had a little adversity.
Yeah.
You took care of it, man. You're maturing.
It was all good. Thank you for going to the bowling center. Where are you ranked nationally now?
12th.
Southern Nazarene University Bowling, 12th out of how many? Someone asked me how many there
like
are.
500.
Out of 500 in the first year with the program.
Yeah, in fact, I did get confirmation yesterday. It has never been done that a year one program with primarily freshmen has made it to nationals. Nationals is the top 16 teams in the nation.
Well, congratulations.
So we'll
you guys
see.
Have like a shot at the national championship, or is this
no? I mean, yeah, I guess.
Still, what is it, like the Shockers?
You can always go out and catch that 8-pounder, I guess. Yeah.
Dallas Baptist, Wichita State, are those the?
No, Wichita State is the
school to beat.
Yeah, that and Wisconsin Whitewater.
Wisconsin Whitewater, they got a good hockey team. They're
they
D3.
Do. It's a D3. They have no athletic scholarships, but they get the best bowlers in Wisconsin because they got to stay local. But I did get confirmation yesterday. There's a big tournament going on in Vegas right now. A lot of people are in Vegas, and they had the live chat going on, kind of like what we have here. And the question was asked whether or not it's ever been done. And the guy who is like the Ken Duke of collegiate bowling.
There's one of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. His name is, I think Aaron Smith is his name.
Bald head?
I have no idea. I've never met the guy. Anyway, he got on the live chat and he said, at least in the last 30 years, it has not been accomplished. So
congratulations.
We'll see.
I would like to point out that BTL is a premium sponsor of SNU Bowling on the website. So,
dude, I'm impressed. I am really, really impressed with what went down. Somebody here actually mentioned that the 20th, is that today?
That's
tomorrow.
Mark.
That's the 2-year anniversary of me stepping away, and look at me. I'm sitting here at Lucky Lure Tackle with you, still using the same equipment as you used back in 1975. This is the
first time it's been used in 4 years, but
that is not true. That is not true,
dude.
I stream stuff all the time.
Listen,
you just don't know about it.
I knew that Michael was going to have a bunch of guys in the studio, and so my streaming is smaller. Like, he doesn't have the headsets, right? It's like just like lapel mics and stuff, so I can.
Yeah, but I got the setup for you now.
That's where I was going with that. So that's why I asked you to bring the setup for today. So we are at Lucky Lure Tackle in Oklahoma City. So I did a deal with Omnia last year. And I told him, I said, here's the deal about the deal.
The deal on the deal.
But
okay.
I said, the small tackle shops are vitally important.
Yes.
And some of the coolest stuff, I grew up going to Mike's Tackle in Decatur, Illinois.
A fine place that I have been there.
It is. I have a shopping list from Frank for out of production Excaliburs that he wants me to look for over. But I said, dude, I'm not going to do this deal if I can't still promote the small tackle shops. Where you go in before your tournament, before the Nichols, you pick up all the stuff. They've got a couple of the, the local colors, the good plastics, the clothing. And they were like, yeah, no, that's 100% cool. Like, you're the day before the tournament, you need to order some stuff. You can't get it in. You roll to your local tackle shop. You come in every day. I see Austin Cranford back there. I think he's in here twice a day sometimes.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, he's got like a nickname, Pig. Everyone calls him Pig because he's.
Does he kill pigs?
No, he's just, if you get in his truck, you'd understand. But everyone kind of.
Is it worse than Crete?
Comparable.
Okay.
But everyone has a nickname. You come in, you kind of hang out at the tackle.
They have
shop.
a nickname for you?
God knows. Probably.
What's his nickname?
Panger is what everyone calls me.
Man, that's.
But anyway, so the whole point was, I did the deal with Omni, but I said, hey, I'm still doing the local tackle stuff. So Michael, we've been working on this for the better part of a year to get in to do a live. We got donuts. Also, if you're here, we have 2 giveaways. We have an AFCO Sun shirt and then also an AFCO Reaper. So we'll do the giveaways. We got probably like 20 guys in here, which is awesome.
Bunch of AFCO stuff here.
Yeah, and there is a bunch of AFCO. Is McClellan your rep? Yep, Justin McClellan, son of Mike McClellan, who works for OBT, the Outdoor Brands team, reps it and has a ton of the AFCO stuff, in here. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to get Michael on here in a little bit to talk about kind of running a one-off tackle store in 2023 in the age of forward.
It's got to be tough.
Forward-facing sonar and internet and all sorts of stuff I've talked to some guys that run tackle shops that are like, man, we don't move any hard baits anymore. Mm-hmm. It's all jig heads, minnows, drop shot stuff, swim baits.
Do you have all your, I don't know, logistical checklist, all the stuff you need to take care of so far? Because I have a question to ask you.
What do you mean?
Are you done? I don't know. Was there stuff that you needed to talk about before? No, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I thought about this while you were venturing internationally.
Okay.
Are you going to talk about that?
Yeah. So I did a double show with Frank yesterday, and we did like a half hour on it.
Okay.
Yeah. You can check it out. The replay's out there.
Okay. So everybody knows that you went to Mexico. All right. It got me thinking.
Not everybody.
Well, from a show perspective.
Yeah.
All right. So it got me thinking.
Okay.
If there was a place, and this might exist, I don't know. I've been out of it for long time. I don't know if it exists, but if there was a place, and I'm gonna say 1,000 acres. Is that a big pond?
Yeah, that would be called a lake.
1,000 acres?
Yeah, that's a lake. 1,000 acres you can like get up on pad and run in.
Okay, let's call it 1,000 acres. If there was a body of water in this country somewhere, and let's just say you lived right by it, would you be willing to pay a monthly fee, like a membership fee, like to a club or a golf course or whatever, to where you and let's say 50 other people, maybe 100, I don't know what the right number is, has access to this body of water, and only those people that pay the monthly fee, and it's almost, nothing's guaranteed, but it's almost a guarantee that you go out and your best 5 weighs 30 pounds.
Like I could name like a bunch of people already have that. That's just like a land lease with water on it, or
so they have a
100%. That's like all over.
Okay, what's the running rate?
I mean, it totally depends on where you are. But it's like
give me an example.
It's like a Ray Scott Lake is what you're talking about.
Kind of like
you
that.
Have access to a Ray Scott Lake. Yeah, I don't know how much it costs. Like
how much would you be willing to pay for something like that?
Oh, I mean, that would depend
on what?
On how big it is, how many fish you catch, like what.
Okay, I just gave you an example. You're almost guared to go out and catch 30 pounds.
I mean, I paid $250 a month for that.
Would you?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, that's like a slip at Thunderbird, and it's a hell of a lot better than Thunderbird. I agree to the same cost.
I'm just curious, what is that number that people would? I think what you're talking about are these destination places.
No, there's like little lakes all around here. I think Gilliland has one.
Yeah, but it's not a membership thing.
I think it is.
What, you pay an annual membership?
I don't know. I haven't asked him about it, but I know you have to get invited to go on it. He hasn't invited me ever.
I got invited.
Of you?
He invited me.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, you would be willing to pay $250. How much do you think people would be willing to pay? What do you think the right number for that is?
Well, it totally depends. I mean, you get down into some oil and gas money, and you could $5,000 or $500 to $1,000
a month.
A month, yeah.
$12,000 a year.
Yeah, that's like I mean, think about how much you're paying for a country club fee,
huh?
And then if And then
that's why I asked. Yeah. See, I think you're wrong. I don't think these places exist.
I know for a fact that they do. They are literally
I think they're destination places. I don't think it's like you have 50.
I've been to some in Kansas that are like that. Like I've literally had my buddy take
So
me
how
to
much
Kansas.
do they charge?
I don't know. He paid a couple $100 a month, and it was like had smallmouth in it and stuff. And
really?
you go through the gate, and you can keep your boat there if you want.
Is this like famous? I mean, do people know about? Is this like under the radar?
This is very common. Like you're not onto something. Like it's already been.
No, I didn't. Dude, I don't want to be on anything. Okay. I'm just wanting to know how much you'd be willing to pay for a place like that.
Yes, they exist all over the place. Jared's saying Trinity Oaks, Texas, et cetera, et cetera. Pete knows of at least 2.
Okay. I think it's a lot of money. $500 a month?
Sportsman clubs, 1,000 annual minimum. We have several here in Virginia. I mean,
I think it's a cool idea.
It's so cool that a bunch of people have already done it. It's the pay lakes. Remember the catfish pay lakes? We had one down the road. And have any of you guys gone to the catfish pay lakes?
I know the trout thing.
Okay,
we did the trout thing.
Typically isn't paid, but like we grew up next to this pond, and then once a year my dad would take us there, and we'd use liver and dough bait.
Yeah.
And you'd catch your catfish, and you had to keep it, and there'd be a guy like in a golf cart that when you hook one would come around and net it for you. And then you'd go up and pay by the pound. Just solid pay lake.
Okay. All right. I had no idea that. I guess I'm just stupid. I had no idea
you're not stupid.
That existed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the right price point is for that.
Dream Lake in Alabama, $450 a day. That's more of a destination.
Yeah.
You can get out on the day. There's one in North Texas, $1,500. He has a cousin and a member in those places. Especially popular, I would say, more so in like Minnesota probably does not have many pay-to-play lakes.
Well, that's because there's 10,000 lakes there.
But like Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, you get out like
that's where the Lakers originated from. Did you know that?
The LA Lakers?
Yeah. That's why they were called the Lakers, because there's
in Minnesota
10,000 lakes in Minnesota.
Interesting.
You've been on a couple of them, haven't you?
But anyway, the manageable lakes like
you
that.
Just blow me off.
No, I have. I've been on a bunch. I'm supposed to go out. I'm supposed to go up and do the crop.
Things just haven't changed. You just continue to blow me.
I'm not blowing you off.
And you're wrecking my idea. It wasn't really an idea. I just wanted to know if it was out there.
It is definitely out there.
And you'd be willing to pay $250 a month to do that? To go out and catch 30 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
No,
seems like a good deal to me.
It's definitely cool, and then you can bring like certain guests on it and things like that, like a certain
kind of like the golf course.
Yeah, it's just like a golf course except for fishing.
And there's thousands of these places.
Yeah.
All right, you have a mission. I want to know where one is in Oklahoma.
Okay.
All right. Find out where one is in Oklahoma.
Like a private one where you can pay a membership and then
monthly fee or an annual fee or whatever.
Crete was a member of that one that he always fished down there. Before he
that's right.
That's the perfect example. He paid an annual or a monthly fee to go down there and
he
fish
would
that
whack
lake.
him on that lake.
So
too.
There's one right there.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Did you say you were going to pay me a finder's fee
for what?
Finding that lake.
I knew about that lake.
Okay.
I didn't know that that's what the situation was.
I agree, Jim.
All right, I'm sorry.
Hostile. So have you been keeping up with what's going on in professional fishing?
A little bit, but not much.
So last Thursday they went from 50 to 65 next year.
I don't understand.
BPT, which means they've gone from 80 to 50 now to 65, but they're not going to do it until 2025, and then in 2026 they are going to cut to 50.
But you know what I did watch the other day, because I do a lot of channel surfing late at night now.
What's that?
There was something going on at Lake of the Ozarks. And it was in the springtime. I think it was an MLF thing. I don't know what it was. They got so many names. I don't know what it was called.
Probably a cup.
I don't think it was a cup. It was in the springtime. Anyway, there were topwater fishing, sight fishing, Carolina rigging, football jigging, LBJing. It was like a feast for me to watch, dude. Mm-hmm. It was everything that I love to do.
You just named everything that I just did down at Mexico, and you still have no desire to go down there?
I want to stay in America, dude. I have no desire to go internationally.
Even north or south?
The Canada thing I might do. I give it totally up to you for doing that. And I've heard it is a magical place and everything, but at my age, dude, I don't want to be dealing with all that adversity.
There's no adversity. So much so that yesterday when I got back, I had a meeting with Pro Bass Adventures.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of an announcement. And I'd kind of teased that I was hoping to work with them in the 2024 season. We have 18 spots booked for the second week of December.
That's cool.
We're putting together the BTL packet. We're trying to fit. The plan right now is to get Uncle Frank down there.
That would be cool.
And myself. So that would be 16 slots. I've already got like 3 covered. So there's like 12 slots left.
Look, man, for somebody like yourself,
I talked to Josh where it'll be a 3-day, 4-night BTL trip.
Yeah.
With all sorts of freebies and giveaways for it.
That's
on
cool.
El Salto next December.
That's cool.
Do you think we can fill 12 slots?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because I'm in for it. Like it's on their
100%.
And it's a week that the nets are out. So with the nets out means you can cast anywhere. When the nets are in, their netting is like 4-pound test fluoro. It's like very angel hair fine, and it's everywhere.
Really?
So,
Did you get hung up?
No, it was out. We were there when the nets were out. It's 1,000. It's like a fleet goes out and they remove the nets.
Like shrimp boats?
Except they're exactly the same though.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see them? Were they dry docked or whatever?
No, they like pull up on the bank, and then they have they keep all their food and stuff in just like refrigerators on the side, like on the bank. So there'll be like 10 refrigerators on the side, and then up in the woods there's like actual woods and stuff there.
I'm telling you right now, it would be a fantastic trip for somebody that
it's unreal. Like I'm just glad that I don't have to have I'm here. Feel that right there.
No, I don't want to touch you.
Touch it.
No,
touch it.
Why would I want to do that?
Just
get away from me.
Feel that callus.
Get away from me. No.
So that callus did not exist. Like I said, I thought I was going to have pinky surgery.
You poor pinky.
Yeah, to catch.
I can't cast. My pinky hurts.
But
come on, dude.
No, and it's very reasonable too. So, everyone says they're already in. Maybe we're gonna fill up more than.
Fantastic trip.
We're gonna have it. We're gonna launch it in January, and we're gonna close it in May. And my guess is it's gonna go like the Color 7.
Yeah.
The Color 7 spooks where it's
nice.
And then if that works and it goes well, the game plan then is to do 2 a year.
Cool.
One in like June where you deep crank Carolina rig, big football head, big swim bait offshore, and then the one in December is top water swim baits. And then I'm gonna go there first before we start doing anything, but there will be a Bacharach deal.
Cool.
Which are giant fish. So no, it'll be 16 spots, Sean. 18 is like the max that they can accommodate at that lodge. So what else you got, Mark?
Oh, the lodge is cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like top notch.
5 rooms up top, 5 rooms on the bottom. It's I mean, I would not call it top notch. I would call it incredibly clean, incredibly functional, and exactly what you need for a fishing trip.
That's top notch.
I mean, you don't have.
I mean, you're there to fish.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You don't have like a masseuse or king size bed.
Seriously, you would get a massage?
Have you never had a massage?
No, I don't like people touching my body.
You've never gone into.
I want no part of that.
Okay, I think located in this complex, you can get a Chinese foot massage. You've never gone in and gotten.
No,
I'm dead serious.
No,
it's not sketchy unless you want to make it sketchy.
You are going down a path. I'm telling you right now, you should not go down.
I'm a big fan of the 90-minute couples massage. I'm serious. It's
just going to ease over here.
And then they say, where are you sore?
Dude, you are saying things right now. I just didn't know about you.
I know.
All these years, I had no idea.
Every couple months.
Really?
Yeah, and then a pedicure too, about once or twice a year.
You're wow.
All right,
man. All right, I do have one. Have you been fishing during the wintertime yet?
Yeah.
And I know winter is technically
I've been trying to get on the crappie and have been sucking. I got on it with Daryl Gleason one day. We caught a couple 2-pounders, and then I had Cranford take me out to show me how he catches the big ones. And he caught a big one, lost a couple big ones.
Right. If things work out, I'm going to Table Rock next week with McClellan.
Really?
Hopefully. Yeah, we were going to try and do it this week, but
yeah,
he had some stuff come up, and it just depends on the weather.
They should still be on a rock crawler there.
Yeah,
it should be.
It depends on how cold it gets.
Otherwise, you're going to be offshore Demiki rigging.
You think?
I know so. That's how you'll be around. I know you'll where you'll be and what you'll be doing.
Hey, do they still have, and once again, I don't know, do they still have the 10 killer winter jackpots? Did you ever fish that? Does anybody know?
Yeah, heck yeah, they still have the 10 killer.
Okay, you want to know who the greatest team was back in the day that fished those winter jackpots?
Christie and Christie?
No.
Barton and
No. You probably don't know this name. Let's see if you know this name. Marty Four Killer. You ever heard that name?
I have not. There's some people shaking their heads.
Yeah, and Alan Head.
Okay.
Marty Four Killer and Alan Head. It's the typical, when they showed up at the ramp, you're like, oh, geez.
Really?
All right, but that was 30 years ago. It's a long time. Marty and Alan made so much money on that winter jackpot. All kinds of stuff, dude. It was
now it's A-Rig, Demiki, and Live Scope.
Well, the A-Rig wasn't around then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marty Four Killer. He was a stick in Eastern.
4 killer on 10 killer. That's a little ironic.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Alan, obviously.
When was the last time you bass fished?
Texoma.
Really?
Yeah, Texoma in May.
You caught him good. May?
Yeah.
7 months ago.
Here's what's really bad. My boat, dude, still has the old sticker on it. I haven't even put the new sticker on it.
You got a new truck. I saw that.
Yeah.
It's fancy.
Yeah. But I don't have the sticker on it.
Huh.
But no bass fishing, wintertime, just crappie. That's all you've done?
Yep. Justin Phillips says Marty is a rancher now.
In Virginia somewhere.
Oh, no. Justin Phillips is the Marty. What would you say his name was? Four Killer?
Yeah.
Justin Phillips is the Marty Four Killer of Eufaula. You do not want to mess with him on Eufaula.
Yeah.
That's certified.
So are you going to take me crappie fishing?
Yeah. I gotta wait for it to get good. I got a couple lakes that are around, and I've honestly been out to one 4 times and I've caught 0 crappie. So
are you around, say, the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Sort of, kind of?
No, I'm in like California, Illinois, Florida, South Carolina.
California?
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Courtney's Christmas deal.
Okay.
Just for a couple days.
All right. You need to get me on the water, man. I'm dying to see this magical crappie madness that you keep talking about.
All right. We'll get Juice on here at the end of the show. He's the crappie killer here. I kind of talk.
Do I need to ask him to take me?
Yeah.
Since you won't?
No, seriously, you need to go with Juice. Juice would take you. He'll talk your damn ear off.
I don't care.
Yeah.
At least he's not going to talk about massages and pedicures. I mean, come on, man.
It is what it is.
Jeez. All right. Do I need to get out of here?
No, you're welcome to stay. I am going to get Michael in here. We got to take a break. A jet setter. Yeah, not a jet setter. We are going to take a break. And then you want to come back in to end the show. So we're going to take our first break of the show live from Lucky Lure Tackle.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for bringing the equipment and jumping back on. I think you've been on 4 or 5 times. Is your screensaver a Wayne Gretzky with the Blues?
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
That's he was only with them for 36 games.
I know, but it's still.
I remember when he
epic.
Yeah, when he was with the Blues. So
all
right, we'll be back with the owner of Lucky Lure Tackle in OKC. It is BTL on a Tuesday, December 19th. We will be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
All right, guys, if you're a construction worker, soccer dad, soccer mom, you want to be outdoors, you've seen the Reaper. This right here is the zip-up full Reaper, but it's windproof, folks, windproof. And it actually has the mast built in. It's behind me. I mean, if you can look good, feel good, and stay warm, you better check it out. It's the zip-up Reaper. That's right, windproof.
Elite Series Pro Darryl Gleason here. My Pro Guide batteries keep me going on those long tournament days and long practice days. Always plenty of juice, never fail. The best part about Pro Guide batteries, it's the people behind the company. They have over 40 years experience in the battery business, keeping all of us fishermen out on the water longer, catching more fish. Check them out at ProGuideBatteries.com.
What's up, Bass Talk Live fans? Brandon Polnick here. And ever since I won a couple Bassmaster Elite Series events on X-Zone Lures, I've been getting a bunch of questions of what makes them so special and different. And really, the truth is, it's in the details. The little details, things like no cheap fillers in their plastic. That gives you more lifelike action, more realistic and vibrant colors. But don't just take my word for it. Go to www.xzonelures.com.
Have you considered purchasing new electronics for your rig? The type of mounts you choose to protect your investment should be part of the decision-making process. No matter if you prefer 1, 2, or 3 graphs up front, Beatdown Outdoors has a solution for you. Adjustable, versatile, rigid, and made in the USA. What's your ultimate electronics setup? Check out the full selection of Beatdown Outdoors products by visiting beatdownoutdoors.com.
All right, welcome back live BTL from Lucky Lure Tackle. So I had to reschedule this for a couple times, and then we ended up getting it to work. But friends, thank you for having me in the shop, and congratulations on the shop.
Thank you.
You've got when this thing, it kind of give a little bit of the history of kind of Lucky Lure Tackle, because it's been around for a long time.
Oh yeah, it's been around. It's been around since 2009. David Hughes was the original owner. And about a year and a half ago, I had the good fortune of buying it. You know, I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, got out of the Marine Corps, got into the corporate world, and realized that wasn't my thing. And this opportunity jumped on it.
So you own this basically right after COVID.
That's right. Yep. When everything was booming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've had this talk with a lot of people in the industry, guys who design baits, wholesalers, company owners, then small tackle owners. It's a very interesting time to own a tackle shop and try to sell tackle, not only because of the economy we're in now, but also it seems like there's kind of a major shift in what is desirable. Is that a fair assessment?
It is a fair assessment. We're lucky here in Oklahoma. We're a little bit more protected from it, just because, as you know, the waters here are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But even here, there's a big shift, from what once was.
Have you noticed hard baits not moving as much and more of the swim bait forward facing sonar deal? Or like right now, what would you say is moving, and what is surprising to you that is not?
Again, we're a little more protected, but we are seeing a lot more of FF minnows, your smaller Damiki baits, drop shot baits, stuff like that. We probably have, I'd say 30% more of that just in a year and a half I've had this store than what was before. The spinner bait, which has been a hallmark in Oklahoma, the sales are down. We still sell them, but not nearly as much.
Really? You've had Jason in the store before. He's got a big rack of coverts over there too. Yeah. So, if spinnerbaits are going to sell anywhere, it's going to be in Oklahoma. Next thing I wanted to talk about, and like I said, I've talked with a couple of guys about this, and I'd be interested. You've got a TV in here. You're a tournament angler yourself. You're dialed into it. A lot of people in Oklahoma follow the BPT, the Bassmaster Elite Series, the Opens, the Toyotas, fish them as co-anglers. How much of an impact do you see when a bait is dominant in a national event? Do you see people that come through the door or that call up and say, hey, do you have this? How many do you have? And you can be like, oh, that's a direct result of what the pros are doing and using? Or is that kind of overhyped?
No, it's not overhyped at all. I know when you talk to Polish Pete and the Omni guys.
Yeah.
And they talk about it. They're right. It's 100%, not just with the tournament anglers though, but even like the YouTubers. I know there's a big debate back and forth, you see the Millikins and the Joneses out there and they're hyping a bait. I can promise you, I know about that post or that upload before I ever see it, because people are calling, hey, do you have this in your store?
So as soon as their video drops, it's almost like a tournament win, but it's just their YouTube video. So like what Milliken's talking about, like the 6 cents,
the hangover.
Yeah. Is that kind
of?
Well,
the panorama, I'll tell you just real quickly, we've got the first shipment of that in this complex all the way down to the pet store. We had a line and we were sold out in 7 minutes.
Are you serious?
And then the second shipment, we were sold out the same day.
Really?
And now they have a new one that's going to be laying on the 28th. That's when 6 Cents is putting out. It's called a Hangover.
Is that the one that looks kind of like this Out Dangerous one the Mega Bass?
That's right.
And
we've already had calls about them, and we're going to have them the day that 6 Cents launches them. They'll be on the pegs, but just like the rest of them. So, we see a lot of debates on the shows now, on BTL, of course, and Mercer and some of the other ones. They talk about the impact that YouTubers have.
Mm-hmm.
And on tackle stores, they have a huge impact. I mean, it's like a tournament win. People come in here and they'll call all the time. Hey, do you have any of these left? Or do you have any of them in the store?
Is it, I feel like the small town tackle vibe is like there's fewer and fewer of the stores. How important is it for you as an owner to have the regulars come in, to have the guys around the tackle store, to keep that kind of local vibe and keep your finger on the pulse? I mean, that has to be critical to the pulse of a local one-off store like Lucky Lure.
100%. It is the difference between us and the box stores.
Yep.
These guys you see, we've got in here, now a lot of them are in here all the time. The Billies and the Bradleys and I don't want to forget anybody, but all the guys here, most of my guys, they're here, come in quite a bit. And that is the single reason we're able to do what we do. Because they're in here and it's important that we try to have like the old barbershop, the old tackle store, like you said, you made the joke with Mark earlier, guys come in, have coffee, hang out, talk about tournaments. I mean, it's funny how many people come in here after one of your shows. Hey, did you see Matt today? He had so-and-so on. What do you think? And then there'll be a 25-minute debate about, whatever was on the show that day.
What percentage in just a normal tackle store would you say is bass versus just people who fish for fun and don't have any idea that tournament fishing even exists and just like to catch a bass and come in and say, hey, I want to pack a 6-inch Zoom lizards? Are there still a bunch of those people out there and we just don't get to see them? I don't get to see them because I'm so in a bubble in the tournament world.
100%. I would not be able to stay open if we didn't have the crappie fishermen, the cat fishermen, the walleye guys here in Oklahoma. Hybrid and sand bass are a big deal, and then just the casual bass fishermen. The bass fishermen, first of all, I'm a bass fisherman at heart. I grew up fishing for everything under the sun. I mean, you and I come from the same area of the world and caught everything, but
that's because there weren't any bass to catch in that part of the world.
That's a fact. You caught a bass there. You were somebody, but we have a lot of folks in here that are like that. Our minnow sells, we sell live bait. Is
that a pain in the ass?
It is.
I always thought keeping live minnows would be a pain in the butt.
And it can be a challenge, but I can tell you that's what keeps the light on a lot of times during the winter. When you get, November through January, early February is the slowest time of the year. And our crappie guys and catfish guys, they're the ones that keep the lights going at that time.
Yeah.
And then the bass fishermen come back in and they're the ones that make, really large purchases. So they stick out more, but your everyday fisherman, certainly what keeps the doors open.
What would you say, like the average guy comes in, not like an everydayer, but a guy who comes in, what would you say the average guy buys when he comes in a tackle store? Are we talking, like I came in before I went to Mexico, right? And I think I was right at $200 and I was proud of myself. And, but what is the average guy, would you say?
Are you talking
a tournament bass fisherman, like a BFL, a co-angler, Bass Nation, any of that stuff, walks into the tackle store, on average, what would you say he's walking out with?
At least 200.
Really?
At least 200.
That's scary as an angler to know that every time you go in one of these things, you're out a $200 bill.
Yeah, I mean, they come in and but the funny thing is, you get a couple of mega bass jerk baits and some fluorocarbon line, and next thing you know, you're already over 100.
Yeah, it is. That was the next thing. I know you've got a bunch of clutch swim baits. You've got the mega basses, you've got the Spro glides. You're talking anywhere from $40 to $150 a bait. Are you seeing a lot of interest in the high end and the glide baits? Because I would imagine you're invested a lot into those too. I mean, you've probably got $50 at least in every single bait that's in here, with no guarantee that they're going to move. What are like the glide baits and the high end bait sales been like?
We're starting to see more of it again. Now, this is one of those things in Oklahoma, because it's a lot of the waters we fish. They haven't caught on as much as they have some other places. And yeah, it's a scary investment. When I, just using the clutch, for example, when I brought those in, I thought, holy cow, is that going to be an anchor? But no, they're selling, and they're selling more. People are getting more engaged in it. Goes back to that social media thing. The more, BTL talks about them, or more somebody's hyping them on a podcast, the more we sell them. And over the last 3 weeks, we've actually sold more than the whole time we've had them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because for the winter, and some of the guys are talking about winter
Talking more about
gliding
them.
on the podcast. I'm just curious. I'll just ask, plastics wise, is there one? I mean, what is the Oklahoma plastic a choice? Like, if you were to say a brand, a color, like the bait, like out of all the plastics in here, one pack of bait that sells the most at a Lucky Lure, what is it going to be?
The Zoom Green Pumpkin Super Hog.
That's a Robert DeGraff and Reed special.
Not just him.
Really? See, I've never been able to get behind the Super Hog, because to me it's a brush hog with jacked up tail.
I think it's more compact.
Yeah.
And you can get them in all those logs and the dirty water around here. But we sell, I don't know, 1,000 or more packages a year of those. I mean, that's our, just that one bait.
Huh. What about a hard bait?
Some square bill. It's probably going to be the 1.5 or
like a Strike King KVD 1.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then terminal tackle, like line rod. Is there one brand of rod, reel, line that seems to be?
As far as rod goes, Falcon rods.
That's what I was going to say. Falcon owns Oklahoma.
It's not even, they have several different series, but like their lowrider, just their lowrider alone, we sell more lowriders than all other rods combined.
What is that? 124. 124.
Yep.
It's a great price point, and they're out of Broken Arrow.
Yep.
So I mean, they've been around a long time. They've had a great pro staff, and they actually sponsored the OU bass anglers when we first started.
And they're
back in the day. So
we're gonna have a booth with them at the Classic this year. So we're excited.
That's funny. Steven asked, "Hey, how have the Crush baits, the Crush City baits been selling?" When I came in last week, that was my first question to you, and I looked at the pegs, and it actually lookked like they've been moving pretty decent considering it's the middle of December.
I'm gonna tell you, they're moving really well, and I've actually already had to order more. One of as a tackle owner, one of my concerns when you see a new bait like that is, are you really inventing anything new? I know you went through that some with Brad Hallman when you guys were doing the BFE. And so it's like, this one looks like this, is it really going to sell? But those crush baits, whether it be great on promotion, or I've actually used them, because what I try to do is, if we get something new in, the first thing people want to know, do they work? Do they not work?
So you hook up the boat and go spend a couple days checking that out. That's a business expense.
Exactly. And we did it. And you catch them, and I think they're a really good bait. The one challenge with that bait is they're a little bit like the Yamamoto's. You're only going to get a bass or two out of it before you have to move on to the next one. But
that's the smartest thing Gary ever did with that, was create a bait that lasted for one fish, and then you had to replace it. It's kind of like when Tommy made the biffle bug. He's like, make this head so it catches them, but then it snags on every rock, and then we'll throw it exclusively on rocks. And then we'll make it so you can't change the hook on the bait either.
Right.
So you got to spend $8 and then buy 30 packs of them. You're down by 10 after a good day on Gibson.
That's right.
So, how many, what would you say that, how many people come in on an average day? I'm saying, this seasons. I'm just curious, because I have no idea about this, but like how many people would you say are through the door like in the springtime, March, April?
In March, April, it's going to be hundreds.
A day.
Okay.
A day.
And then when you get like, so, and we talked about this before we came on air. Really, it's the end of October through early February is our slow season.
And that's why we're doing the show right now, to get people in the show, to do some promotion.
Absolutely. And we might only see 20, 25 people, a day.
But bigger purchases, because guys who come in the wintertime are going somewhere. Like when I came in and did a Mexico thing, do you have a lot of people that are going on trips that come in and have big ticket?
During this time of year, we see the extremes.
Okay.
We see the minnow guy that comes in and gets a quarter pound of crappie minnows, and that's it. Spend $7-10. And then we see the other one, the guys that are taking trips, guys that are going to OHIV, guys are going to Mexico or out west or whatever, and then they're going to make the larger purchases.
That's a good question too. You recently jumped into the online category too, which I know has been something that you've been working on forever. Is that a necessary evil? In your opinion?
100%. Using an old military term, you're just trying to guard your own borders. If the competition can come in and sell cheaper or have more, then they're going to do that. So that was an endeavor. That's something that I would not I wouldn't live without now, because you have to have it, like you called it, a necessary evil.
Yeah.
We have to have it to be able to compete in today's world. But boy, that's there's a lot more involved in that than just setting up a website. I can promise you that.
Trust me, I try to sell a couple of hats every now and then.
Yeah,
online.
Right. Yeah, we may have to talk about that. We have to put them out there.
I was mentioning that we're gonna do I got a whole new line of apparel coming. It's gonna be a February launch. It's gonna kind of coincide with the Classic.
Oh, nice.
New branding, new logo, everything. Not like new logo. It's still BTL, Mark. Don't worry about that. No, that's listen, when we did this transfer thing, that's like in the contract. You can't mess with the BTL logo. It's gotta be it's gotta stay the same, but just some different stuff around it. So we're gonna do a February launch on that, along with an Uncle Frank Scalish exclusive design shirt. So he actually drew a largemouth, a spot, and a smallmouth, and then autographed it underneath. So it's going to be some limited edition signature series. Speaking of apparel, we did mention AFCO, big supporter of BTL. AFCO also, you walk into a tackle store. This is kind of a little interesting behind the scenes business stuff. It's not just like you're like, oh, I want this. There are people like Justin McClellan. They rep brands, and they basically kind of come to you with a palette that says, this is what works in your region. These are some of the things. And then you kind of work through them to get some of the apparel. And I mean, is it like that with the baits and everything? You have a rep for each section or whatever it is, and you work with them to get the products into your store then?
In most cases, and you talk about, that's one thing that's changing kind of with our industry. You talk about the changes in the industry with some of the conglomerates buying tackle stores up. We're having actually fewer and fewer reps, which, that can hurt a small town tackle store if you're not careful, because your reps are a lot of times the ones that keep you in the know on what's coming, what's new, things like that. So it takes a lot more work when you don't have those reps. But yeah, for the most part, we're fortunate. A lot of the stuff I'm looking around the store here now, that we still have reps for most of it. We use distributors for some of the other things, but for the most part, you're on point.
And yeah, full selection of AFCO. So you can come in, you can put your hands on it, you can try it on if you want the bibs, if you want the jackets, the fleeces, the reapers. Also, you got all the new stuff too that I saw that they just came out with too. Like those are some of the new quarter zips that they just came out with. So,
yeah, those are nice.
Hour wise, if you're in Oklahoma and you want to come by and check out Lucky Lure Tackle in person,
it's going to be open. We're open from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and 8 to 4 Saturday and Sunday. So we're open 7 days a week now.
Are you here all 7, or do you get like a day? You have people that a bunch of people that like help out.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. We've tapped into the high school and college fishing, and we've got kids, or not kids, young adults. I've got one that fishes for Drury University. I got a couple that fishes for UCO.
Okay.
And then the real boss, my wife, she lets me get out and do my tournament fishing and stuff like that. So
okay, I do want to show one. Austin, go grab one of those Okie rigs that are like the wire thing. So Justin Phillips is all about this. I don't know if he's getting paid for each one of these that sells, because he DM'd me. He's like, "You try this." Yeah, show that. Jeffries will be interested in this too.
Yeah, he is a Carolina rig guru.
Okay, so we got to show this. So there's where did Justin Phillips say? He goes, "Oh, I bet he uses the Oki rig." All right. I'm not sold on this yet. Can we take one out? Is that or no?
No, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, no,
I'll buy it.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I won't use it, but I'll give it to Mark.
Christmas early, right, man?
That's a stocking. Okay, so this is what he was talking about. So this is like, how would you describe? This is a musky wire leader.
Yeah, this one's actually titanium.
Titanium, but for lack of a better word, it's like what you would tie your Rapala to if you went up north, so a pipe didn't need it.
Right.
It's got a barrel swivel on either end. It's about 5 inches long, and then it goes bead, clacker. Is that tungsten?
Yeah, they do them in tungsten and in lead and in brass.
Oh wow, that looks like tungsten.
It is. Yep.
And then another bead, and that's what you Carolina rig with then. So you go line, this contraption that goes like this, and then leader, bait, whatever.
Right.
This is when you've really given up and don't even want to thread the stuff on. You just tie it on.
We sell a bunch of these.
That's what I'm doing. So I thought that Justin was pulling my leg, but this is apparently like, it's very snag resistant. You could run it through the rocks and it catches. Come here, look at this, Mark. Have you ever seen one?
I've never seen it.
I promise you, the guys that still Carolina rig a lot,
apparently they've been around since the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Frank, locally made, great people. Yeah. You got anything else crazy in here that you want to show before?
Not bait wise. I would like to let everybody know where our website is if I can do that.
Yeah.
lltackle.com.
lltackle.com.
One thing we're doing out there too, just is, a lot of guys, and I know a lot of your viewers can appreciate this. There used to be the one place you guys had it. Mark had it on the Bass Zone for a long time, where you could go to one place and have all the local tournaments.
Yeah, that was
and everything.
my job.
Okay.
When I took it over, that's like the first thing I asked.
We do that now.
It was such a pain in the butt.
Oh, hey, trust me, I know.
It was such a pain in the butt.
We're doing that now. We have a tab and it's got them all out there. And
I saw that. It's awesome.
So we're trying to keep as much of the old school stuff around as we can, and still trying to relate with the new stuff.
Here. I'll pull it up, see if I can pull it up. That's it right there.
Yep.
All right. Oh, I don't think I can't split screen it, so I can't pull a screen up on it. That's okay.
Yeah, so it's been out there for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah. But no, that's a fantastic thing Mark started that back in the day. It was the local trails, and we got up to 40 or 50 different trails for Oklahoma that were on there, and you'd have to put each one in, and then everyone would call and have you change the schedule when they change the days, and it was a gem.
We have a lot of questions about that now. I don't know if because Oklahoma, we have a harder time than in Texas getting the large ones.
Yeah.
And everybody asks why. Well, everybody and their mother has a trail out there now. I think
we got some pretty good ones though.
I
mean, between
like
the
XFLs and
the
Nichols. Absolutely. No, they're great. I mean, we've got some amazing ones, but people ask what happened to some of the other ones. Well, they've all turned into 20 boat deals.
Yeah. Anything else before we take our final break? I do kind of want to bring, so like if you listen to BTL, I always talk about my buddy Juice Newton, who breaks he's the guy that, like when we fish the Nichols, I would throw the $100 glide and I'd give him the river to sea, just because I know that it was headed towards a post. And it's a lot easier to replace a $20 broken bait. But I think I'd like to get him. He's like my college buddy. I would just at least put a face of Juice Newton that gets talked about on dang near every BTL.
He frequents the store, so he's a good customer.
He does. He also sends about 95 Instagram messages
every hour.
Every hour. Like everything, it just says 4+ when you open.
When my phone starts going off, I know, well, Jared's at it again.
Yeah. All right.
Real quick, thank you, Mark, and to you. I know this is your gig now. A lot of guys, you couldn't have had him.
That's why I had to have him in here. I said, dude, you can't do a Lucky Lure show without coming in.
There's some guys here that still talk about your guys' debate. And I even heard guys in the background talking when you guys started going back and forth. It's like they didn't miss a beat. And it's awesome. It's awesome. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
Continuing with it. So I just appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't have wanted to do the show without Mark. And he's like, no, he's like, this is actually kind of his week where he's free. So he started it. He made it is what it is. And I'm just trying to keep the ship from sinking.
You're doing an amazing job. I do miss the there in the intro, they hit him with the hook. I like that part. You took it out.
Yeah, I thought it was cheesy.
Oh man, I liked it.
Where I was like, hit him with the hook, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I like that.
BTL coming at you.
I love that.
No, Mark, remember I said it and then you said BTL coming at you?
Yeah.
But I thought I sounded like a nerd when I said that.
Did it not sound good? See?
Okay. Well,
Next year's a new year.
Yeah,
there you
next
go.
Year's a new year. We got some announcements coming. We got more shows. We have some new sponsors coming on board. We have some new content. So I am excited for. I'm very excited for next year.
I'm already working with the boss on Canada. If I those 18 spots.
Mexico, you mean? You said Canada.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place.
Canada, Mexico. Different country, fantastic fishing.
Yeah, I can.
Do you think there's people that come from Mexico to the United States or from Canada to the United States to fish? That's a valid question. Like, is there someone on Lake of the Woods?
Yeah, I guess there's guys.
Like, boys, I'm headed to Table Rock.
No.
I'm gonna catch a bunch of 2-pound spotted bass.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Screw these smallmouth and large walleye.
They only do it for money, like the Johnston brothers and Gussie, and
they
do it for money. I don't know about people doing it for fun.
Is there anybody, is there anyone in like Saskatchewan going, I can't wait till we get to the 2 lakes in Nebraska?
Yeah, amazing. We're headed to Kansas, right out of Bacharach.
Yeah. No thanks.
No way.
All right. Take our final break of the show. When we come back, we'll put a face to the name of
the Great Juice.
Yeah, the Great Juice Noon. It's BTL on I'm glad I have that on a Tuesday. We'll be back right after that.
Are you looking to install your own fishing electronics? The solution is the Bass Tank Power Harness. It takes the guesswork out of installation. No more voltage issues or interference. Designed by an engineer so that you can get professional results right there in your own garage. Installation done right with the help of the Bass Tank Power Harness. You can feel confident knowing that your installation was done right. The Bass Tank Power Harness. Give us a call or order yours today at thebasstank.com.
Get the best patterns backed by tournament data. Start by finding the best 10% of your lake. Know exactly what to look for and what to throw. After that, just put them in the boat. Try the Deep Dive app today.
Look at that beast right there.
I'm the kind of guy that never leaves the house without a pocket knife, and Gamakatsu's come out with the EDC series of knives. EDC stands for Everyday Carry, so whether you're on the water or off, you can always have it with you. The best thing about it to me is that assisted open feature. With this D2 blade, you've got it right here at your fingertips, so if you can't find your scissors, you need to cut a knot, you need to cut your braid, you've always got it. Make sure you check it out. Never leave home without your Gamakatsu. Having confidence in your tackle while on the water is one of the main things to success, in my opinion. In the last couple of years with Denali, I've had just that. From anything from spinning rods, casting rods, tungsten products, even now to casting and spinning reels, I have the confidence to go out there and get the job done and know that all my equipment is going to handle it and do it just the way I want it. The thing about Denali is you've got great quality products at a great price point, so make sure you check them out.
All right, we are back live from Lucky Lure Tackle in OKC. Some deals going on here. Stop on in. You can Google where it is. I have no idea what the address is. It's like kind of in the corner, though. You'll see like the Lucky Lure wrapped truck out front. Big shout out to Michael Strands for getting the donuts, everything, getting the people in. Thank you guys for coming to listen to BTL. You're probably our regulars who would be here anyway. He's like, I can't wait till this is over so we can just chat about fishing. But hey, next to me, so I have over the years taken numerous cheap shots at we all have that fishing buddy that we fish with. This is mine that goes all the way back to the college days. Jarrett Morrison lives in Edmond, and we have had some good and bad times on the water, but primarily a lot of the stories that I talk about on BTL have to do with you. So wanted to get you on the show while you had the chance. I don't know how many times we'll get this opportunity. So thanks for jumping on.
Absolutely.
Really, that's all you're going to say? You never shut up ever, and now you just say thanks for coming on?
It's kind of a first thing for me. So
I was saying one of the best memories that I have is we were talking with Michael about the local tournament trails, and the cool thing I think about bass fishing is you never know when that magical day is going to happen. And we had that one magical hour on Grand, and it's hard to believe. I was thinking the other day, that was 2013. That was 10 years ago when we put 24-20 in the boat in literally 11 minutes on Grand to win a Nichols and to win the boat. And it was, that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had on the water.
Yeah. And the one thing that I do remember is, about that night before is you and I spent probably an hour with Sharpies, and we went to Walmart and bought all the Sharpies.
Quit spinning around.
The blue, and we bought the blue markers, the black, we bought them all. We spent probably an hour just going through our tackle and changing every crankbait color to the the bait we've been catching.
It was you went there, and I remember you said, "Hey, we need to buy some parrot," and I was like, "I got stuff that's good. We don't need that stuff." And you insisted that we stop by the local tackle shop and bought some DT14s and parrot color and Caribbean shad.
That's right.
And I was like, "It doesn't matter. I've got chartreuse blue back and all this stuff." No, it mattered. I mean, we rolled up, and the coolest one I remember was when we were using identical setups, and you had the 5-pounder. And I was like, I had made a cast, and I went, crap, my crankbait's caught up in your line because I could feel your fish. So I slack lined it. And then when I came tight, my line was going left and yours was going right. And I was like, no, I got one too. I mean, this is in the Derby, the Nichols, and yours jumps and it's a 5. And we're like, well, we'll get yours because we know what it is. And it comes by the boat, and inexplicably you grabbed the line and just lifted it.
I boat flipped that thing.
And it broke in midair, bounced off the gunnel into the bottom of the boat. So it's flopping in the bottom of the boat. Well, in the meantime, that freed up my line because it had broke, and a 6'2" jumps behind the boat, and it's got the crankbait's in its side. And we're like, oh my God. And that was our limit fish.
Yeah.
And we already had 3 5-pounders or 3 5-pounders and a 4 in the boat.
Right.
And we get that sucker in. I remember, and I said, man, we need one more good one. And I remember I picked up a football head and caught a 5'11" on the first cast with a football head. And we called him did we call the tournament director at 9 in the morning?
It was early.
It was like
8:30.
8:30, 9 in the morning, and said, when can we weigh in? Because it was a June tournament. It was hot, and we knew.
Well, and we knew it was going to get rough, and, and the lake was going to get busy.
But no, we've had all that. Then so recently you've gotten into you actually started. Did you get an LLC yet, or is that still on the to-do list?
I'm still working on that.
Juice's Jigs.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. I've been, I've just had enough trouble keeping up with all the custom orders that come in before I've been able to get go streamline and take everything.
But you're heavy into the crappie thing.
I'm heavy into the crappie thing. That's kind of, life happens, and, bass fishing, takes a side note. So I've started crappie fishing. I got into tying jigs. I still tie, still get out and do a little bass fishing occasionally. But yeah, live scope and tungsten, crappie, I'm your guy.
Yep.
So.
And you recently just set your personal best crappie, just a hair over 11 3/4 inches. So congratulations on that. And check it out though. Juice's Jigs on Instagram. Anything else you want to get in here? I just wanted to put a face to the name.
Man.
Newton. All right, come back in, Jeffries. We'll wrap this thing up.
I got something.
You got something for me?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a Lake Texoma map.
No, hang on.
Put that on. Oh, that's some. There you go.
Okay, hang on. So I walked around the shop, and there are endless things.
Okie rig.
I know.
Do you like that?
I do. I'm gonna definitely try that out. But I was walking around looking at stuff, and it was bringing me back to some memories where when there was a tackle store, I don't know, it was just down the road.
Okay.
All right. And me and a guy that I worked with at UPS, Joe Coffee, we would take our lunch break and we would come up and all we would
literally have a coffee break
at lunch break. We would go to the tackle store and walk around and just look. And then Coffee, I mean, he was filthy rich. So he would buy $200 worth of soft plastics. But anyway, I was walking around.
That's an average order I learned today.
I know. I was walking around and this caught my attention.
paper map of Lake Texoma?
Well, several paper maps.
Okay.
All right. My question to you, I know you're the forward-facing sonar, and that's the big trend. I mean, how many people still use these?
I still use them.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of guys that still use them. I don't care what you can look at on a screen. Like when I go to a new lake, I like to put it on the kitchen table and lay it out and just see where everything looks like.
So here's a question, all right? You know about Gary Carrier,
Yeah.
Grand Lake.
Yeah.
If Gary Carrier had a map of Grand Lake from 30 years ago, the question I ask you is, how valuable would that be?
That's a really good question. I have
That's why
no
I'm
idea.
here.
I think I think it's one or the other. It's either going to be useless or remarkably valuable. I don't think it'll just be one of those deals where it helps. It's either going to be like the juice or completely pointless. What do you think?
Do you think guys still mark up maps?
Especially, I mean,
where's he at? I want to know how many of these do you sell? Do you sell a lot of these? No. See?
How many paper maps have you sold in the past year? In the last year, 75 tops. 75 in the past year.
Not that many.
No. See, the problem is you can mark up Navionics now. So you can sit on your tablet and you can do whatever you're going to do on a paper map, but then you can transfer it to your unit.
I get that.
So the guys who are utilizing paper maps are utilizing it to get an understanding of what everything looks like just on a big deal, or have not transitioned to
the technology
because what you would then have to do is take that and then go approximate it on your.
I know. But how valuable would these maps be before the technology was present? In other words,
well, yeah.
Is there?
My aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. The technology's present.
Dude, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the history of a body of water where you have one of these maps that is totally juiced up.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be
how valuable is that?
Just as valuable as a chip. It's the same thing. It's just in
I agree.
Physical form.
It
depends what's on there. Is it rock piles? Is it stuff? Is it old bridge foundations, or is it brush piles? Because old stuff with brush piles, now those areas are still going to be valuable.
Rock piles.
Yeah, a rock pile doesn't
sunken
move.
Stuff.
In Oklahoma, a rock pile does not.
You ever seen the school bus at 10 Killer?
Yeah, I'm always scared to fish around it because I'm not sure like what the rules are. Like, can you go to it and then cast to it, or what if someone is down there?
Yeah. How about the cemetery at Grant?
Yeah, I've always been told to avoid that.
You've never fished the cemetery?
I've never fished the actual cemetery.
It's good.
I mean, I know where
it's really good.
Stuff. I just always avoid running it.
Huh. All right. Anyway, that out of all the things in this tackle store, this caught my attention. That and the $80 swim bait. How many of those do you have?
I don't have any of the clutches. I need to get the clutches. I've got a couple KGBs and a couple of the 175.
Are you still
swimmers.
into that whole thing?
I'm into it in a reduced capacity, like a functional capacity. Like I sold all my giant stuff that I would never use in a tournament. If it's a tournament bait, I'll throw it.
Do you have a map?
Yeah, I've got.
Do you have some maps?
I've got probably, some of them you gave me, but I've got probably 20.
Okay.
I've got a whole box of paper maps, mainly because Ike and Ellie had it in one of his videos, and then when I started collecting them was back then. You think this would work? What are any downsides of that? The more I get my hands on it, the more I'm like, yeah, that would play.
I'm interested to see what happens when you fish it around rock.
No, supposedly it does not snag. Is what Justin Phillips
that's the
saying.
thing that I'm really curious about.
Like I said, I think Justin Phillips gets $1.50 for everyone that sells based on how much he's been pumping it on here. But
it would piss me off if I got hung up and had to break it off. I mean, that's kind of a,
All right. Let's close the show out.
All right.
But go get up there and grab that, turn it around. And is everybody okay if I pan it around? There's no one that's like, oh, he's at the tackle shop. I want to make sure if we do, but I want to show the beats.
We don't want to get anybody fired. Come on now.
If we're all good for that, that's how we'll take the show out for all the guys at Lucky Lure for stopping by. You go.
Thanks, man.
Thanks
for
thanks,
dude.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Awesome.
You know that.
Right. Spin that around to all the guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming out to Lucky Lure. Greatly appreciated. Michael, thank you for having us. There it is right there.
How's that look?
Oh, that looks fantastic. All right. This has been another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live. No live show tomorrow. I'm actually driving up to St. Louis tomorrow. I forgot to mention that one. Heading up there, and then we are going to be on a break. We're going to come back with a show on the 27th and the 28th. So not completely done with the year, but this has been another edition of BTL. We will talk to everybody later. See ya.